Hey, just because of all the everything happening lately, I wanted to make a statement as a pagan regarding all lives matter. Do they? Do all lives matter? Like, personally, I'm not a vegan, and so I'd say that, for instance, the lives of cattle, to me, matter. They do. They still matter. I'm not a vegan. Do the lives of sheep matter? Yeah, they do. I lived and was raised on a farm. Do the lives of mice that get into the chicken feed matter? Yes. I genuinely flat out believe that they matter. Now, in some situations, I'm willing to kill them because they need to die for my continued flourishing, or in the case of like cattle for beef, because that's the purpose for which they were taken care of. That's what they are. They are animals that were brought up and raised to die. Now, for nutrition. Now, if we limit it down to humans, do all lives matter? That's a bit of a complicated question, like in cases like abortion, in defense against someone who's trying to kill you, or in well, like agriculture. Do all lives matter equally? I can make another video delving into my actual take on that if people are interested and bring it up to me later, or I run out of topics and make one. But anyway, aside from that, in an unspecified, non-particular general sense, do all lives matter? Yeah, I think most people would say that all people matter. All people's lives are important to a degree. Thing is, that means that if all lives matter, if you'd say that all lives matter, Black lives matter. White lives matter, Asian lives matter, etc., so on, so forth. But all lives matter means Black lives matter. If Black lives matter, and Black lives are the ones being snuffed out, with nothing done about it, or Indigenous lives matter, because all lives matter, and Indigenous lives are being snuffed out with no one saying anything or doing anything about it, and the people who are snuffing those lives out are facing no consequences, and they're being killed under the same circumstances in which not even a slap on the wrist is happening to others, then people, even if you, whoever you are, who's saying all lives matter, don't need the reminder, you're either blind or a moron if you think that the people who are killing these people and excusing their killers don't need the reminder that Black lives are lives, that Indigenous lives are lives, that a life is a life, and if human life is, then it is human life. And if human lives matter, Black lives must matter. Now, just to delve back into my script, because I actually made a script to keep myself somewhat on track. Oh yeah, that was the other point I wanted to cover. Rioting as a means of protest. Is it uncivil? Yeah, it's uncivil. It's violent. It's destructive. It's aggressive. It's violent. It's loud. It's damaging, just like punching someone in the face. And yeah, if you were out at a bar and you punch someone in the face, you've just been uncivil, aggressive, and harmful to them directly. Absolutely. And yeah, if you did that just out of nowhere, you'd get thrown out of the bar. Sometimes you'll get thrown out of the bar anyway. But if you couldn't leave the bar and they just kept groping you and coming on to you and talking to you right in your face and yelling at you and drinking your drink that's sitting in front of you, and you told them to stop, you told them to go away, you told them that you were uncomfortable, you asked them to stop, you yelled at them to stop, you did all of this as civilly as you could, and they didn't stop, and they just kept groping you, and then they grope you one more time and you snap and you punch them in the face, yeah, you've been uncivil. Were you wrong to? And that's the thing, the protests, people in the States have tried peaceful protesting. Oppressed people around the world have tried peaceful protesting. The first, riots are how labor unions got legal rights. Riots are how gays got legal rights. Stonewall was a riot. I am fairly sure there was a death count. And, I'm not very familiar with the history on that one. And rights were given to stop the violence. In the case of unions were given legal recognition to stop the strikers being killed, and also to stop the unions from killing the bosses and the corporate heads. And then, yeah, if the peaceful protest is going to be met with tear gas and rubber bullets, you bet there's going to be rioting. Absolutely. So are violent protests uncivil? Yes, for sure. Just like punching someone who's an asshole and won't leave you alone at a bar is uncivil. But if that's the only way to be left alone, when you're not being allowed to leave, you can't leave. Because if you don't have the money, you can't leave a nation that is hostile. And if you were born there, where else are you gonna go? Then yeah, that's where you've got to draw the line. It's gotta be somewhere. And yeah, so I've been another pagan priest, just thought I'd say something about the whole thing. If you're protesting, if you're out there in the streets and you are standing up and you are saying, let there be justice, let's not have any more I can't breathe. Let's not have any more there are too many names. At this point, there are too many names of young and even older black people who were just killed by American cops. Get your shit together, America. Anyway, I've been another pagan priest. Stay safe out there. Remember, milk is useful to have. You can carry it in a bottle. It won't go bad if you're just carrying it for a day. Bottle of water, bottle of milk, and if you soak your bandana or face mask in vinegar, it might do some good to help keep things out. Stay safe out there.